I really don't care what happens to her at all. I don't care. Like, everybody they tiptoe around with this social media. But what y'all don't get is that it be real consequence for y'all little flexes, y'all quick flexes for $300 that you need. It be consequences.
The internet is completely losing it right now, and for good reason. Rumors are swirling, footage is leaking, and legal documents are being filed faster than anyone can keep up. At the center of it all, Iman Shumpert allegedly physically attacked actor Aaron Pierre. And yes, it all circles back to Teyana Taylor. Reports claim the altercation exploded outside an exclusive event in Los Angeles, and the fallout has been massive. We're talking screaming, fists thrown, and now, a restraining order. But what really happened between Iman and Aaron? What did Teyana see? And most importantly, what happens next in this love triangle gone completely off the rails? It all started at a private event in LA. Sources close to the situation say tensions were already sky high. Iman reportedly showed up alone, but his mood changed drastically when he saw Teyana arrive with none other than Aaron Pierre. Eyewitnesses say Iman's entire demeanor shifted. He was seen pacing, clenching his fists, and muttering to himself. Moments later, he allegedly confronted Aaron directly, shouting something about him stealing his family. The confrontation escalated quickly. One witness said, "It looked like he just snapped." Before anyone could step in, Iman reportedly lunged at Aaron, sparking a physical fight that left the entire venue in shock. Security had to rush in and separate the two before the situation got completely out of hand. Just hours later, the first blurry video clip leaked online. In the clip, you can see a man, believed to be Iman, aggressively stepping toward another man, likely Aaron. The audio isn't crystal clear, but you can hear a woman screaming, "Stop it, both of you!" And many fans believe that voice belongs to Teyana. The video went viral almost immediately. Fans broke down every second, zooming in, enhancing the audio, trying to make sense of the chaos. Within the hour, it was trending across multiple platforms. People started speculating that this was proof Iman still harbors deep emotional wounds when it comes to Teyana, and that seeing her with someone else pushed him over the edge. And then came the legal fallout. The very next morning, Aaron Pierre filed a restraining order against Iman Shumpert in LA County Court. According to court documents, Aaron cited threats, physical harm, and fear for personal safety as the primary reasons for the emergency order. The temporary restraining order bans Iman from coming within 100 feet of Aaron until the court can decide if it should become permanent. A hearing is scheduled for next week, and legal experts are already weighing in. Some say this could have serious consequences for Iman's custody arrangement with Teyana. If the court sees him as volatile or aggressive, it could affect how often, or even if, he gets to see his kids. Meanwhile, Teyana Taylor is caught in the middle, and sources say she is emotionally wrecked. People close to her report that she was seen crying after the incident, repeatedly saying, "Why does this keep happening?" Insiders say she's exhausted, heartbroken, and feels completely stuck. She hasn't made any public statements yet, but fans couldn't help but notice her cryptic Instagram story posted just hours later. It simply read, "Protect your peace." No names, no explanation, just that. Many believe it was a subtle message to both Iman and Aaron, or maybe just a message to herself as she tries to find clarity in the chaos. Iman's team was quick to respond. In a public statement, his representatives denied that he attacked Aaron, claiming it was all just a heated disagreement that got out of hand. According to them, Iman didn't throw the first punch, and he was only trying to defend himself after being provoked. The statement emphasized that Iman remains committed to co-parenting in a healthy, peaceful environment. But not everyone is buying that. In fact, fans are calling him out, labeling him toxic, jealous, and out of control. Social media lit up with questions about whether Iman's behavior is part of a pattern, and whether he's losing control now that Teyana has moved on. And then came Aaron's response. After 2 full days of silence following the incident that had everyone talking, speculating, and choosing sides, he finally broke his silence. Not with an interview or long post, but with a single cryptic message shared on social media. "Energy never lies." That simple line, devoid of context yet charged with implication, lit a fire across the internet. Fans, influencers, and media outlets rushed to interpret its meaning. Some saw it as a dig at Iman. Others thought it was a subtle affirmation that he had nothing to hide. The post quickly went viral, racking up tens of thousands of likes in a matter of hours. But what truly shifted the conversation was what came next. Shortly after the caption went up, Aaron shared a photo, his hand wrapped tightly in a bandage. No caption, no explanation, just the image, and it didn't need words. The message was loud and clear. The moment that image appeared, social media erupted. Speculation swirled around what had actually taken place between him and Iman. While no official statement was made about the injury, fans drew their own conclusions. In the comments, Aaron's supporters voiced their outrage and sympathy. "Teyana, this isn't love, it's obsession," one user commented, tagging her directly. Another added, "The fact that this man thinks fighting someone will win you, back says everything." The general sentiment was growing clearer. Aaron was being painted as the victim, and Iman as the aggressor. The public's reaction only further split the already fractured fan base. Supporters of Iman came to his defense immediately, arguing that his actions were those of a passionate father and man under emotional distress. "He's not toxic, he's human," one user wrote, trying to humanize the outburst and reframe it as a raw, emotional response rather than something violent or controlling. For these fans, Iman's behavior wasn't about intimidation. It was about desperation and heartache, triggered by seeing someone he once loved possibly moving on with someone else, and the complex emotions tied to parenting and past relationships. But not everyone was so forgiving. Critics were quick to point out that reacting with violence or aggression, regardless of emotional turmoil, is never justified. To them, this wasn't about passion. It was about control, jealousy, and entitlement. Many speculated that Iman was spiraling, unable to process Teyana moving on, and now unraveling publicly in ways that could have devastating consequences for both his image and his legal situation. Some fans even argued that this single incident could permanently damage his custody arrangement with Teyana, as courts take violent behavior, especially involving co-parents and potential partners, very seriously. Conspiracy theories flooded in as well. Some fans believed that the altercation wasn't random, but the result of something Teyana had privately shared with Iman, perhaps about her deepening relationship with Aaron. The theory goes that Iman couldn't handle the idea of Teyana being with someone else, especially someone who had now become a public part of her narrative. Others think the fight had been simmering for a long time, that there were tensions building beneath the surface for months, if not longer, and it was only a matter of time before something finally snapped. For these fans, the confrontation wasn't spontaneous, it was inevitable. But while social media plays detective and fans choose their sides, the real-world consequences of this drama are just beginning to unfold. If the restraining order against Iman is upheld and made permanent, his access to his children could be restricted or even temporarily revoked. That alone would represent a massive shift in the current co-parenting dynamic, one that might force both parties back into court. Iman's legal team is reportedly working overtime to get ahead of the narrative, releasing controlled statements and managing press outreach in an attempt to salvage his public image. They're trying to frame the incident as a misunderstanding, or at worst, a momentary lapse of judgment, one rooted in deep emotional pain, not malice. Meanwhile, sources close to Aaron have indicated that he's now considering taking further legal action. Specifically, he may file a civil lawsuit against Iman, not only for physical assault but also for emotional distress. Depending on the outcome of that suit, Iman could face financial penalties on top of the already looming family court complications. And then comes the twist that no one saw coming. Rumor has it that a witness may be willing to testify in support of Aaron's account. Whether this person was physically present at the time or has access to related evidence hasn't been confirmed. But insiders say the witness's version could significantly sway any future legal proceedings. If their story aligns with Aaron's, Iman's legal position could weaken even further. Which brings us to the most delicate part of the situation, Teyana. Now more than ever, she finds herself stuck in an emotional and logistical nightmare. On one side is Iman, the father of her children, someone she once loved deeply and now shares a lifelong parenting bond with. On the other is Aaron, someone who may represent her future, but who is now at the center of a storm that could cost her more than just peace of mind. She is now not only navigating the fallout of past relationships and future possibilities, but also dealing with public scrutiny, custody negotiations, and the emotional well-being of her children. Those close to her say she's rethinking everything: her current relationship, her future with Iman as a co-parent, and even her role in the public eye. Some friends say she's considering stepping back from both relationships entirely. That, maybe after all the chaos, betrayal, and court drama, she just needs time. Time to heal. Time to focus on her children and herself. Time to build a stable environment far away from love triangles, legal threats, and social media commentary. She's reportedly been exploring therapeutic support and creating space for her mental health, choosing solitude over scandal. For someone like Teyana, known for her strength, creativity, and resilience, this might be the reset she needs. As the dust barely begins to settle, one thing is certain: this isn't over. The legal implications are still developing. Public opinion is still shifting. And with more testimonies, evidence, and statements likely to emerge in the weeks to come, there's still a lot left unsaid. What started as a personal dispute has turned into a high-profile, emotionally charged, legally entangled saga, one where love, loss, ego, and control all collide in the most public way possible. Teyana's next move will be pivotal. Whether she chooses to stay silent, speak out, or walk away entirely, her decision will set the tone for what comes next. The world is watching closely, not just out of curiosity, but because so many people see their own relationships, heartbreaks, and healing journeys reflected in hers. And in that way, this is no longer just a story about three people. It's become something bigger, something raw, real, and painfully human. At this point, the love triangle has officially turned into a full-blown courtroom nightmare. Emotions are high, tensions are higher. And with legal hearings, emotional posts, and viral footage flooding the internet, this story is far from over. So now we turn it over to you. If you were Teyana, what would you do? Is Iman just acting out of pain and love, or has he crossed the line? Should she move forward with Aaron or stay single for a while? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because if you think this drama is over, you haven't seen anything yet.